And Mr. Chair, it is 5:45 and there is a quorum that's been ascertained, so.
Well, I would like to call this meeting to order. And Mary, would you do me the pleasure of reading the accessibility program?
I will, thank you. I'm just gonna have Megan pull it up.
1 second. Sorry, I realized I forgot to put that into the packet. Give me 30 seconds.
I should know it by heart by now.
Oh, we all should.
We all should, is right.
All right, and it is right here.
Thanks, Megan.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Here we go. This meeting is accessible to people with disabilities. Microphones and telephones will be used by all speakers. Large print materials are available upon advance request. If you would like either of these accommodations, please contact Mary Waldron, 508-583-1833. The Notice of Non-Discrimination Rights and Protections to Beneficiaries with regards to Federal Title VI non-discrimination protections and the state non-discrimination protections is posted in this meeting room and is available on the Old Colony Planning Council website. Please contact Mary Waldron, 508-583-1833 for more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary. Mary, could we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman Staffier.
Present, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Noreen O'Toole.
Present?
Stephen Santisonio.
Present.
Sandra Wright.
Present.
Val Massard.
Present.
Becky Coletta.
Present.
And alternate Dan Salvucci.
Present. Alternate.
And just for clarification for staff, it is myself, Charles Kilmer, Megan Fournier, Brenda Robeson, and Sean Noel. And we have a guest, Catherine Caney from PICO.
Hello.
Thank you, Madam Director. The September 2024 meeting minutes, please.
I'll make
Yes.
a motion. You need a motion?
Yes, please.
I'll second that
take-
motion.
Thank you.
I will do
Yes.
roll call. Frank Staffier,
Present.
Noreen O'Toole,
Yes.
Sandra Wright,
Yes.
Val Massard,
Yes.
Becky Coletta,
Yes.
Stephen Santisonio.
Abstain. I was not here for last meeting.
Thank you. And Dan, since you're an alternate, we'll just record you as being present, just because there's an alternate. So that is unanimous.
Okay.
Thank you very much. The OPB Trust Committee report needs to have a vote for it, Mary, and we would like it to be Charlie Kilmer. Would you explain to everybody what we're trying to do?
And just
Hey,
before you go,
Frank,
Charlie, just
Before you
what I'm
go
gonna
into
do-
that, Frank, because I do this all the time as chair, I always skip numbers. And
That-
we have to do number 5, I think. It's an action item.
We do, but what we can do, just because we have Katie on, we could, if one wants to make a motion to take it out of turn, to
Fine.
take that up.
Okay, great.
The reason I was calling on Charlie is because between Sean Noel and himself, they know what we are
Right.
trying to do, and I would like it to explain it to you, Noreen, if that's okay.
Thank you so much, Frank.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we're here before the Audit and Finance Committee to provide a update and hopefully an action item on the OPEB trust. Basically back in 2012, the OCPC formed the original OPEB trust. And what this does is it funds retiree healthcare and dental costs. And so much like you do a 401k, to pre-fund your liabilities. OCPC started this and started investing in 2013 with Rockland Trust as their trust manager and fiduciary. Since that time, as you'll probably hear later on in Brenda Robinson's financial report, the OPEB trust account has grown to about $1.2 million. And we expect it to be fully funded in 2037. And what we've been doing over the years is considering whether Rockland Trust is the vehicle we want to go ahead with. And over the last couple of months, the OPEB Trust Committee met, I would say, 5 times and heard presentations from Rockland Trust and also heard presentations from the Plymouth County OPEB Trust, PARS, which is the Public Agency Retirement Services, and U.S. Bank Partnership as an alternative to Rockland Trust. So what the committee did was they deliberated post presentations, and what they thought was important was certain types of metrics such as return on investment, the cost to actually manage the portfolio, the level of service, and then also the qualitative aspect of regionalism. So the trust committee itself thought it was important to consider those options, and what they did at their most recent meeting in October was to actually vote to recommend to the OCPC that we switch from Rockland Trust to PCOT. And I understand we have Kate Carnes on the call today, and there are flyers within this presentation. Megan, if you wanted to advance to those, kind of. So one of the things, if you could go back up to that top slide right there. So one of the things back in their original presentation about 2 years ago, PCOT and PARS did a comparison slide to say, well, over the life of the investments to this point, in this case, it was to 2001, had you gone with PCOT instead of who you did, this would be the return on investment. So you can see for 5 years, it's in the 13% range. And then in the Rockland Trust, it was, 8 and change. So they have a better return on investment based on this slide. And the next slide up from this one shows a cost comparison. I know Sean Noel had prepared this slide. It showed the difference of costs. So you can see PCOT option is cheaper. So that's, part of the rationale why the OPEB Trust Committee voted to switch from Rockland Trust to PCOT.
Very good, Charlie. Thank you. And
Charlie.
I want to shift over to Kate to see if she wanted to say a few words and some background and context.
Well, first of all, thank you for having the opportunity to speak with you tonight. On behalf of my colleagues at PARS, Public Agency Retirement Services, and on behalf of the Plymouth County OPEB Trust Program, we are very excited to work with the council to help you address your retiree healthcare benefits for your retirees, which also are your current employees too, your future retirees. We're very proud of the program we have built. We see ourselves as a full service option so that we are an extension of your staff. We do have very competitive fees, very successful returns. But in addition to that, we pride ourselves on being a full service option. So we work with you to make sure that we maintain and monitor full compliance monitoring, legal monitoring. So if there are any changes to federal or state law, we're there. We manage both the
thank you very, very much,
Kate,
Kevin.
your voice, your audio went,
Okay,
Mine,
no,
Katie's
Katie's.
Is mute.
muted for some reason.
Try it again, Katie. Yeah, no. There's something that went out on us. That's a, you know what I might have you do, Katie, if you log out and then log back in, and then maybe Charlie, if you could take it from there, and when Katie comes back can update, but
Sure. Maybe Megan, could you start from the top of the Rockland Trust presentation? There's a slide that lists all the current members. Yep, client list.
Right there.
There we go.
So this is an example of who the Peacock client list is, and you can see it's a blending of communities, regional entities such as the Cape Cod Regional Technical School District. There's the Whitman Regional School District, Whitman Hanson, I should say, Upper Cape Tech, Tri-County Folk School, and fairly recently, the Brockton Area Transit shifted over to using Peacock as their trust manager as well. And one of the things, PARS, it's a nationwide group, and they have about $6 billion in assets currently, and they use U.S. Bank. So, you know, we're fairly comfortable with them as an entity, and recommend joining Peacock. All right.
Thank you, Charlie.
Hopefully you can hear me now. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
So I chose to dial in from my phone. I didn't want to risk any voice issues. And you saw me just a few minutes ago on screen, but I think it's important that I'm able to answer any questions for you.
Do we have any questions for Kathleen? I want to thank Charlie and the committee and itself. Sean Noel, I spoke to him the other day, and he kind of explained what we're doing, and I thought it was a great idea. So I would like to commend you guys on the committee for putting that forward to us. And at this time, Mary, do we have a itinerary of what we're going to be doing? Because I'd like to call.
We, at this point, because of the OPEB Trust Committee unanimously supporting this, and Stephen Santasonio is on that committee. I don't know if he would like to add anything before going forward, but a motion action item is going to be required. This will then go before the council, and they will vote as well. But
Okay, Mary, and again, Stephen, I'm glad you're back, and all's well.
Thanks, Mike.
I know what it's like to struggle a little bit with voices, but first let's take 5 and let's have an action on that question there first, Mary. So if you would, if nobody has any objection to line 5, I'd like to clear up okay.
yes, I think at this point, Mr. Chair, that a motion would be appropriate to move this forward.
I would like to make that motion.
Thank you, Stephen.
I'll second that motion.
Noreen, thank you.
Welcome.
Could we have a roll call just to make sure, Mary, please?
Yes, Chair Staffier,
Accept.
Noreen O'Toole,
Accept.
Stephen Santasonio,
Accept.
Val Massard,
Accept.
Sandra Wright.
I will abstain since I'm a Plymouth County Commissioner.
Correct, thank you, Sandra. And then Becky Coletta.
Accept.
And just Dan Salvucci, since you're on, you listen to it?
Yes, accept. Yep.
Mr. Chair, that is unanimous.
Thank you again. And on line 6, I would like to also call for an action on that question. And again, Charlie, I would like to thank you for a great job of explaining it to the people.
Thank you.
So Mr. Chair, if we can go to item, so that is, that item 6 was, action was taken. We're going to go to item 5 and have Brenda present and I just want to say, Katie, thank you. You're more than welcome to stay on for the financials, but if we, the next item would be to take Brenda to present the financials.
Okay, well, I will see you tomorrow night
Yeah.
at the council meeting, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Brenda?
Yep, I'm ready.
Perfect.
I'm just waiting for the financials to hit the screen. There we go. Okay, financial reports for the month of September. At the end of September, the budget shows a deficit of 1.26%. The reason for this is that the various admin insurances and the audit costs are paid early in the year, which makes the spent to date percentage high. By the end of the year, this percentage will even itself out. We actually have undesignated surplus funds at this time in the amount of $31,048. So we're actually in good shape. Okay, statement of expenditures report shows total expenses for the month of $208,567.42. The cash position report shows income for the month of $492,542.68. Disbursements for the month were $698,326.40. The total cash available at month's end was $1,312,003.09. The OPEB account once again had a gain of $18,275.24, bringing the ending balance in the OPEB fund account to $1,237,883.50. Budget resources report. Cash receipts being $492,542.68 brings the total year-to-date receipts to $1,517,637.23. The AAA report. Outstanding balance for AAA pass-through programs was $663,199.10. Outstanding balance for AAA admin and ombudsman programs was $217,639.46. This brings the total outstanding balance for all AAA programs to $880,838.56. Voluntary transportation account, beginning balance was $161,188.49. Restricted fund payments to volunteers were a total of $973.64. Donations received were a total of $196.90, bringing the ending balance in the fund to $160,411.75. ROM's statement and activity. Balance at the beginning of the month was $157,992.91. Receipts were $8,350, bringing the total receipts to $25,550. Expenses were $5,074.55, bringing the total expenses to $24,539.91. The ending statement balance was $160,445.88. Budget reports. The spent to date average percentage rate at the end of the month was 26.26%. The ideal percentage in the third month of the fiscal year would be 25%. So at month's end, we show a 1.26% deficit. Page 1, expenditures at the end of the month were a total of $785,486. Budgeted funds remaining at the end of the month were a total of $2,206,112. Page 2, there has been no change in income at this time. Projected grant income at the end of the month remains at $2,991,598. Page 3, no change in pass-through income. Projected pass-through income remains at $1,996,327. And lastly is the list of combined accounts payables and cash transfers for the month. And that's the end of the financial report for the month of September 2024.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Brenda.
Could I have a motion to accept this, or if we have questions on it, please present them at this time.
Motion so moved.
I will second that.
Thank you, Stephen, and thank you, Sandra. This is an action again, and let us ask Mary to have a roll call, please.
Frank Staffier,
Accept.
Noreen O'Toole,
Accept.
Stephen Santisonio,
Accept.
Val Massard,
Accept.
Sandra Wright,
Accept.
Becky Coletta,
Accept.
and we have Dan, alternate from Whitman. Dan
I'll
Sutherland.
accept.
Unanimous, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very, very much. Before we adjourn, do we have any other business before the board?
Thank you, Megan, for bringing this up. And Mr. Chair, there is a special Finance Audit Committee that will be held on Wednesday, November 13th. We'll make sure that this lands all on your calendars. So CLA will be presenting their audit report. So it needs to be at a special finance meeting. They didn't have it ready for tonight or for tomorrow's council meeting. So we will have that draft be sent out to you in advance. And staff will make ourselves available for any questions that you may have in advance. And then obviously with CLA, our auditors will be making its presentation.
Thank you, Mary. Do we have any other business? Seeing none. Madam Chairperson, I will call for a adjournment. Do we have any objection to the adjournment?
No
Seeing none.
seconds.
Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Right.
We'll see everybody tomorrow night.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank
Chair.
you.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much,
Mary.
Mary.
Thank you,
and,
everyone.
thank
Bye,
you for
everyone.
everybody showing up.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Bye-bye.
Good night.